Well, hello, hello, hello. Yes, honey, I knew was got to get some of his loving for me. I've been going all day, and yeah, I know he's tired. Yeah, he's tired. He said, "Mom, I need to go to bed." So listen, I want to stop by here before I actually go to bed, and I'm gonna say we have a surprise for you all this week. My people, when I say you all, I mean my mystical, magical, spiritual people. Yes, honey, we gotta come up with a name, honey. The Mystical Academy or something. I don't know. We gotta think of something. But anyway, so crazy, crazy, crazy week. Finally, hey, I'm finally glad that it's over, and now we can get back into. Hey. This motherfucker, y'all. Anyway, we're gonna try to take over that. Hopefully, you guys are not gonna be distracted. So we've been doing a lot of spiritual stuff. Shout out to those of you who signed up for my classes, and we're finishing up necromancy class. I'm waiting for you guys' email to respond back to. Are you ready for your one-on-ones? I'm ready to get that out the way for Thursday. So definitely send me an email. Andrew, you have my number. Like I said, the spiritual number is. We're gonna come out with that too. Like I said, I'll come back and see. We'll talk about some tea this week. But anyway, so I did a lot of spiritual stuff, motherfucker. So I did a lot of spiritual stuff. You see, I'm doing this YouTube video. You see, I'm over doing this motherfucking YouTube video. Why are you trying to play with me while I'm on this video? You don't want me to play with these people? You don't want me. You want me to get up off of YouTube? You want me to leave them alone? You need all my attention. So we did a lot of spiritual stuff, and like I said, of course, when I give you guys my classes, I like to be hands-on with it, and I like to also check up on you guys spiritually. Hey. So I like to check up on you guys spiritually. You know what? You know what? You know what? Get up here. So, of course, I like to be spiritually nosy. When you guys are my students, I like to check up on you to see which if you're doing. Of course, it's two of you slacking, but don't worry because I'm gonna give you a chance to catch up on the slacker that you're doing. Don't worry about it. Like I said, we're coming back this week with some videos. You just hard headed. You just hard headed. A hard head makes a soft booty. Leave that alone. Leave it alone. You want to play with it because I'm right here. This motherfucker had all day, y'all. Listen, I watch him on my cameras. He don't play with none of these toys when I'm gone. But the minute I come back, he's like, let me get this bitch's attention. So anyway, so one thing I want to say, I had a very good week. I spent time with my family. Thursday, stopped by a little bit. Today, I stopped by a little bit. Exciting. We got a lot of good stuff that's going on. I guess you could say my spiritual family and my actual like biological family. We got a lot of stuff that's going on. A lot of good things. A lot of advancement. And of course, in the process, I was not even aware of the lunar cycle, like the new moon and stuff on Tuesday. Because normally I'm like paying attention to all that, but I'm doing so much stuff. I'm doing my spiritual stuff. I'm doing my caseworks. I'm also doing classes. So I wasn't even thinking about the lunar cycle. But I had a weird experience that happened to me. A weird experience. And of course, I'm sharing with you guys. Because of course, spirit and the origin of spirit, it just really fascinates me because of course going into like race and stuff, like I told you guys, there are different species, if you want to call it that, pieces of people who can look alike but are not really the same. I'm gonna give you a good example with going into people who can look like me but they can be from London, they could be from South America, they could be from Central America, they could be from North America, they could be from Eurasia, they could be from any place, right? And people say, well, of course, we all started one place and we migrated. But I really encourage you all to get into, well, unfortunately, everybody's not going to be able to know that. But if you have the opportunity to meet someone who is claiming to be connected to some things, I would really like, because see, now we're going to talk about this, because of course I'm not trying to get shady or throw, because I can, but we're on a new frequency. It's kind of like AM, FM radio. We were at 1540. Now we're adjusting the frequency, because Spirit have showed me a lot of stuff in the past 30 days since I've been doing some things I've not talked about publicly. But we've changed the frequency and the vibration to allow things to operate the way they should, kind of going with the even flow of things. But anyway, so going into when people say they are an occultist or they're connected to things that are unknown, esoteric information, it literally shows based on how they act, how they speak, and who they entertain. Going into breaking down and saying, because we all look alike, that we're all a part of the same group or the same clan or the same species. Because like I said, race is a made up thing. That's just my opinion. I think that there's different tribes or different civilizations of people that had different people who look different ways. No one looked the same, even future speaking. But anyway, I won't go into that. So going into this, if you ever have the opportunity to meet someone, because I get emails from people, hey, have you ever heard of this organization? I'm trying to get into it. Some of the organizations, in my opinion, are about money. And we're going to leave it at that, because some people are like, what organization are you talking about? We're going to leave it at that. Some organizations are about money. They're not about you getting information, getting, any type of enlightenment. They want to keep you where you're at or make you descend back into the root of all things, kind of like what, modern day Christianity is about. But some of these organizations are really about you advancing and becoming enlightened and getting access to higher realms of yourself. Because of course we talk about higher thinking. People have these higher perspectives, but yet these perspectives are very mundane. It's very low vibrational. Anytime you have a higher perspective or use the word high in anything, but yet you come at it from a very primitive, old mindset. One example that always come up is about, gay people, interracial, just a few things that always come up. Someone who is from a higher perspective or a higher self-speaking or a higher realm within themselves will understand. And we could break it down too. We could say the lower realm is below your sacral chakra and below. We could say your higher realm is your solar plexus up to your heart, because of course the heart is broken down into 3 or 4 pieces. And then we talk about the higher up piece, realm would be your throat and up. So you can't tell me you operate in this level, 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 and you operate in this level, but yet everything you speak about deals with anything below the navel button. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Okay, so people get lost up in that, and like I said, they try to keep you just there. They don't want to help you reach your higher state of consciousness. And we all must get there. A lot of people want you to actually think as well, because I get this a lot. Some of my people, some of you people, that I love, and, you take classes and stuff, you hear me ever say, well, someone said we're in the 5th dimension and we're in the new age of this and that. And I tell people, when a new age comes, the old ways have to die out first. You cannot, and we're talking about the divine order. We're talking about the order of how the universe operates. The new way cannot come in if the old ways are still there, because supposedly that happened 200 years ago. And I tell people, not 200 years ago, that happened 2,000 years ago. And it set us back a few hundred years. And I tell people, I don't think so. I think it happened a few hundred years ago. And I think that, 69.2 comes up a lot. You talk about the Salem witch trials and all that good stuff, but I think that something shifted around that time. And this goes into my spiritual journey that I'm going to tell you guys about, but something shifted around that time, maybe even like 1640, because even when I have past life regressions with some of you people out there who's ever got inner energy renovation, because that's what we're calling it, and not energy, energy goddess intervention. Now we're calling it energy renovation. Renovation. Come on in here. So going into that, something happened in the late 1500s, early 1600s, where things were kind of muddied down. And this is why you have a lot of people who are claiming to be enlightened, they're conscious, they're awakened, but they're doing things that we once did when certain people got information about things that are really not known. And like I said, you have esoteric and exoteric. And I always say this, I've been saying this for years, but a lot of stuff that is exoteric, people say it's esoteric and they think they're stopping something. And I tell people, I don't care what information you get on any type of organization out there, whether it's the Freemasons, whether it's anybody, any group out there. They've already been there, done that, they moved on. So you're barely catching the tea on what you think they're doing, and they've already moved on, they've already moved past that. And some of them will actually give you the old information because they want the old information to die out. Okay. So it's the same thing with anything. A lot of religious, a lot of teachings that we have, even in the modern day school systems all around the world, a lot of the stuff that is given are old things that they want to die out. And that's why they keep feeding it to people. Well, let people tell you it's they're feeding it to you to keep you in control or keep you without control. And it's just, that's for the weak-minded people. That's why it's so important to have your mind right. And that's why I say it's so important to get yourself together and focus on you. Friends are nice. You know, people externally are nice because sometimes you need that external reflection. You need that external object to reflect back to you something. But 90% of the time, it's good to be by yourself, especially if you're a spiritual person, because people, it's so important to protect your energy. And like I said, in the past 30 days, I've always been conscious of that, but the past 30 days, I've really been like, oh, maybe not, no, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't interact with those type of people. Let me keep my distance. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I should do that. And I've stepped out of my comfort zone. I did things I really was not comfortable with doing. And anyway, so like I said, things have happened. And so, like I said, people want you to advance. Some people don't. Most people don't. They want to keep you stuck in yourself. They want to, play off your emotions. They want to play off your mindset where you're at now. People talk about there's a future coming, there's a fifth dimension, a fourth dimension coming. And I'm just like, but you're still in third dimension because I'm certain that when you get even into the fourth dimension, race, gender, sexual orientation, and religion would not be important. I guarantee you that. If those are still conversations that you're having or you're hearing people talk about, then Bishop, we're still in the motherfucking third dimension. Okay. So yes, I hate to rain on your parade. Yes, I hate to, tell you what it is like it is. I don't know people out there trying to sell y'all books on a fifth dimension, fourth dimension. Hee hee ha ha. I don't know what they're doing, but it's not that time. We have to get rid of that. We have to get rid of you brown skin, so you automatically a nigga. Oh, you light skin, so you automatically whatever they call, there's a lot of things they call, but I don't want to go into that. Like I said, I really hate talking about race. I hate seeing race. Like I just wish people could be how it was meant to be. Okay. Now going into the Bible, because people are going to the Canaanites and the Ismaites, all this other bullshit. Well, as we talked about, Abraham living 900 something odd years. He didn't live that long. The people who descended from him did, because you are your ancestors. So that's what the Bible's talking about. It's talking about the generations that lived on. Even going into the Canaanites and the Ishmaelites and all sorts of stuff, Ammonites and stuff, these are cultures. It didn't say the Canaanites were white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired men. Can you please show me that scripture? I would gladly wait for that. It didn't say the Ammonites was tall black people with dreadlocks and their skin all looked like charcoal. I mean, come on, let's talk about it. But now you have new concepts that are being introduced to shut down your spiritual insight. And this is why you have a lot of people running around here without their heads cut off, or running around here with their heads cut off, and they can't really see straight. They can't think straight. They're acting crazy as hell. And it's crazy. But going into that, races and different species, okay, species of people being classified by features, and not only features, but also language. That's why the Bible talks about languages were broken down. You going into the Babel towers and stuff where there was one language, one mind, one this and that. Something happened, something was destroyed, and things were broken up into different languages. At least that's what the Bible says. When you first glance at it, there was different languages came about, so you couldn't all have the same mind and conjugate it together and say we're going to A, B, C, D, F, G. So they made it to where there's different languages according to the Bible. So you could be like, well, what are they saying? Basically to create mysteries in this world, right? But as I said, there were species of beings. And going into the class that I'm offering, we talk about that, especially the magic of Fae. We talk about how important, because people, and it's kind of go into that as well, and we're going to talk about that in this class, people focus only on, I'm a generational witch, I'm a hereditary witch, and people assume right off the back that hereditary witch and I'm a witch because my grandmother's a witch, that because their grandmother read a book, their grandmother had some hocus pocus shit. Maybe they didn't, because a lot of people playing with their parents did or grandparents did, and their magic ain't shit. They're still struggling. They sick, shit falling apart, including their body. No tea, no shade. Eyes falling out, skin getting fucked up. Girl, no tea, no shade. I'm just saying. But in the reality of it all, we heard the story about the Nephilims. And I feel like I went over this before. We heard the story about the Nephilims, falling or coming into the earth and having sex with the daughter of man and also the good stuff. Well, has anyone ever questioned who are these people? What? Because we're all aliens. We're all extraterrestrial. Extratestical. What the fuck I was going to say? I don't know. But some of us going into being hereditary witches, some of us descend from powerful beings that predates hundreds and thousands of years. As I said before, they're thinking based on their calculation that the earth is like 2 point something billion years old. You think that basically we start coming about like 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, and then you think that we came from fish and we evolved from monkeys and shit. Like hell, there's there's even fucking different species of primates. Okay, come on in here. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all want to get stuck on the shit that's make these motherfuckers money to keep your ass in your motherfucking place, to keep you in your motherfucking box, and get mad when somebody awakens you. You want a liberation. You want to be awakened. You want to be conscious. But yeah, when someone give it to you, you say, no, it don't. That don't resonate with me. Of course it doesn't. Because I would hate to think that you've lived on this planet 1,000 times, plus times, because 2.5 billion. And of course, there's different specimens of energy, but just like with physical features, somebody on this planet look like us, like you now. Someone right now on this planet look like you, because there's only so many times that the physical body could shift and adapt to certain frequencies. There's only so much frequencies out there. So it's kind of like hitting the lottery. The odds are like 1 in 1 million, right? But people are still doing it. Same thing with your features, your actions, how you speak, your personality. Somebody somewhere has a very similar trait with you and features to where you look like identical twins. It could be somebody in a forest somewhere, it could be somebody in a mountain somewhere. But either way, it goes even into spirit. And it goes even to, like I said, spiritually, we coming from something. Some people came from demons. Some people came from giants that ate flesh. I mean, think about it now. You still got that going on now. Some of us actually came from beings that were very spiritually inclined. We're descendants of beings that are very powerful. And like I said, people don't really talk about that. So because I've done research, because I looked into stuff physically, mundanely, and spiritually, and we're talking about every day, I'm an investigator. Every day, Spirit is showing me something, and I'm adding to my spiritual collection. Oh, girl, I could write a book, and I would probably never write a book. So much spiritual stuff that I've experienced and I've gained access to through dealing with other people who, of course, don't have a YouTube, who don't have any, they don't even want to get up, no, they don't want to even entertain no type of platform like this. I think even one of them don't even have a cell phone. They have a house phone that every time I motherfucking call, The motherfucker sometimes be ringing like it's dead or something, or like they're on the other line. Ding, 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 ding. Anyway, so like I said, some of us descended from powerful beings. Some of us descended from beings in training. And to me, that's what the real term hereditary witch means. Because it's not about the physical stuff. As I tell people, and this is why I teach these classes and I come to you guys from a different perspective. Everybody got tutorials on how to burn a candle. Everybody got tutorials on how to do this spell, that spell, this spell, that spell. But nobody comes at it from a higher place. It's all physical. I need 20 blue candles. I've never seen that. I need 40 purple candles. I need this. I need that. You need herb. You need time. And some people get so frustrated because they're like, I don't have time. What can I do? And that's why I tell you, magic is something that comes from within. And if you don't have it, if you cannot manifest without candles, and you cannot manifest without herbs, and you cannot manifest without things that you can really be that can really be made by man, then you really don't have it in you. And you are a wannabe witch. You are a wannabe spiritualist. And I'm not taking that back. As I said before, it's usually the ones that go around trying to show it off. You know, they have all this shit, these marking shit, tattoos and shit, witchy for life. You know, walk around with this type of shit on them all day. And I'm just like, girl, sometimes I don't say shit, but sometimes I'm looking like, honey, why are you trying so hard? What? Why are you trying so hard? What do you mean? I mean, you got crystals all over your body and stuff. I mean, you could wear a crystal in your bra. The world don't gotta see what you got going on. You could put a crystal on your pinky toe and put your shoes on. Like, what are you trying to? What are you trying to? What are you trying to get? Outside of people disrespecting you, possibly calling you weird and coming for you. Like, what are you expecting out of that? And we were talking about energy vampires and people that be gawking. Like, people ask me why I don't go to clubs and stuff. I think that there's a lot of beings that go to clubs just like churches, because we're talking about duality here. I don't know, it's because I'm a duality person myself. I represent the male and female aspect. I don't know if that's what it is, but I see everything as a negative and a positive. If people go to churches to get negative, positive energy, why would people go to bars and clubs to get it? On top of that, you just in here dancing and just getting free and shit. Motherfuckers on the dance floor just looking at you. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, bitch, and they go home and they do some shit before you know, oh, there was a guy at the club. He had adrenaline and da da da. I'm telling y'all, there'll be some weird shit going on. So they were asking why I don't dance. And I said, I dance, but I don't dance with people. I could dance on a computer. I could dance if it's me and my man. But as far as me being in a room with people and just dancing, girl, but I would have been a stripper. Ain't nobody pulling my energy. I've learned to, like I say, protect your energy, because really, you're open. You're always open. And you don't know it until things start happening and you start saying, well, what does that mean? And how is this and this and that? So anyway, let me go on here before I go into what I'm gonna say, guys. Then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go. Okay, come on in here. Good morning, Larry. How are you doing, Larry? I'm doing great. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Hey, Edwin, how you doing? My brother and I have been talking about protecting yourself from group thinking. I know that's right, Larry. Listen, synchronicity here, Larry. Yes, honey. Anunnaki story is really a trip. Zachary and Stitch did some serious research in that. I know that's right. Come on in here. I understand exactly what you mean. Oh, no, you not. No, you not. No, you not overstanding a damn thing, Edibus. No, the hell you not. You better watch Edibus. You know I'm not a fan of that. Listen. The Anunnaki, so amazing. There's other stuff that Zachariah Stitchin will not talk about because he did not get permission to talk about those things. But we all know that there are different, like during the Adam and Eve story, there was actually people or beings that existed, but they don't talk about that. And as I said before, we're all not supposed to do the exact same thing, but that's what they're teaching. They're teaching you that black should be together and black should empower people and white should be together and white should empower people. But I'm just like, maybe you don't know anybody that's successful or happy or that have been empowered. Maybe you don't know the stories of people. And that's why I tell people, I encourage you to have an open mind. That's probably the most That's the number one thing I ask people. Have an open mind and open your ears and just really close your mouth when you meet people because you learn so much from people and outside of your own space. And I've learned that it's not always the people that look like you that's going to help you. Like sometimes it is, yes, sometimes, but the people who help you are sometimes people who don't even look like you, who don't even act like you, who don't talk like you. They come from a different culture. Now, I like to think that they're part of your species, though, because I think energy attracts energy, and that's all that's important. The race shit, the gender shit is not important. If you connect with someone, connect with those people. Don't, oh, I can't do it because they're black. Oh God, my parents told me not to deal with white people. I can't. Oh no, my son ain't hanging with no white people. Oh no, he's picking up Spanish too. Oh no, like really? But you gonna say you're spiritual. Bitch, the last time I checked, bitch, you're spiritually dead. You're spiritually dead. So anyway, so something happened because I need to go, y'all. I need to go. I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning, and I still got to put away my stuff and stuff. Anyway, so we're doing the necromancy class, and of course, when I do these classes, old stuff come up because there's something else we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna talk about that after this week because we're doing something special this week. I won't tell y'all; it'll be a surprise. But we're I'm doing something, and I asked my familiars and my spirit guides and my spiritual allies, and I said, just show me what my people need, my spiritual people, you people, to make 2020 everything they wanted spiritually and more. And when I did that, you guys, and we won't go too much into this because I had many experiences, but one of them, because I feel like when you tell people your experiences, like spiritual travels and dreams and stuff, it opens you up to where people are able to dissect that stuff. They can do things. So one of the things that I had while I was going through this process, um, I was picking up something. Cause see, I don't become vegan or I don't fast just for a spiritual purpose of keeping my body clean and all that good stuff. Sometimes I eat certain foods to tap into certain frequencies. And as I always tell people, to become a well-rounded person, you have to have foods from different cultures. If you're only eating, Middle Eastern food, if you're only eating South African food or North African food, or you're only eating food from Hades or Jamaica, then you're not a well-rounded person. When you start tapping into other foods, your self, you start opening up because of course in your mouth, your whole head, you have your merhaba. Okay, it's a very powerful, ever spinning energy, and the more things that go in your palate, that is um, increasing to your vibration, the more well-rounded you become. You become this 360 prismatic crystal, bitch. And I mean, that's the easy way to put it. And you see things from a different perspective, and you understand from a different perspective. And we're going to keep it at that. So basically, I was eating something in particular to try to tap into something because I said, you know what? If energy is energy and everything is made of energy, then that means that I'm able to tap into that energy and bring it within me, as my students say, bring it within your soul, and you experience it from that level. So I did some little testing, and I did it. And I literally fell asleep, okay, on one of these days, because one thing I tell you the day I fell asleep on, the people could pick up on some stuff. So I fell asleep, and in this process, I had a regression. Something was unlocked, okay? A part of my subconscious mind. And I actually entered that way and ended up going into a whole nother plane. But I had a very interesting dream for most of my childhood life. And it was actually kind of creepy. I had a series of dreams, and some that were actually creepy, to where like I saw people I knew, but they would be like fatter and more meaner, or they would be skinnier and lighter and just weird shit. But I felt like it was them. But in reality, from during this process that I went through, It was actually their spirits, because you have spirits that are around you that try to imitate you. And there's even sometimes people that will try to pull on those spirits. That's what we're talking about, pulling from your own bank, your own black hole, your own raw consciousness, because they will also try to pull those spirits to them, to invoke those spirits into them. And then they start emulating and start walking and talking to where even when they want to stop, they still do it. So during this process, I was like, oh my God, that's what it was. It wasn't my mind putting this out on them. I was literally actually seeing things, and things are talking to me. And I'm gonna tell you one experience that I had. I was like 13 years old, and I had an auntie that was so sweet, right? She was so sweet. Matter of fact, I scared the fuck out of her because she didn't let me go to her house or anything for like after this. Rest in peace. But I had a dream about her that there was a room in her house that she always kept shut off. And I thought, well, maybe it's a storage unit, right? Maybe she has stuff stored and she don't want nobody to get in there. But I ended up falling asleep, you guys, one night. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna go into my thing. And in this dream, I went to her house, and she said, don't you go in that room. And as a kid, I was very curious. Like, I would want to check out things people tell me not to do. I want to do it. So I end up going through that door, and the door just kind of opened for me. And looking through that door, I just saw some weird shit, right? But anyway, I ended up going inside this room, and I saw pictures, you guys, from like the 1700s. And I tell you guys, my family on my mom's side, on my mother's father's side, they have our history back to like, I want to say at least the 1500s. Like, they have so much history. On my grandmother's side, maybe like late 1600s. But on my mother's dad's side, they have stuff that goes way back, y'all, like way back, like crazy shit. So there was just pictures everywhere, and documents. Some documents were burnt, and I'm just snooping through this, y'all. This is all in my dream. I'm snooping through it, and I saw something that like freaked me the fuck out. It freaked me out because the person looked like, the person kind of looked like me. The person looked like someone else I know that's related to me that I really don't like. And I was just like, what the fuck? So it freaked me out. So in this dream, this auntie walked past the room, and she walked past the room. I felt it, like this whole room, like I felt this room shift, like the energy just shifted, like the temperature changed. And I was like, oh shit. So I turn around, and she's this big ass person, y'all. She was this really short, small, happy, oh baby, hey honey, oh baby, very low, just very soft, gentle person. When I turn around, this person was huge. She had a very deep voice, y'all, like a goosebump type of shit. And was like, what are you doing? And she started saying some stuff, and I don't know what she said, but it like put me in a daze, and I'm like trying to get myself out the daze. And then I realized that I was in a dream, so I was counting myself to wake up. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I kept doing it, and finally I woke up, bitch. When I woke up, y'all, I was sweating. It was so hot. Like, y'all. But I ended up telling my auntie what I saw. And she was afraid. And I think she was afraid because what I saw, it was actually in that room. And of course, she passed away. There was one person. I don't know why my family does neither. Like, there's a few people that governs everything, y'all. Like, a few people that governs everything. If somebody passed away, like our great aunties and stuff, somebody goes and get everything before anybody else could do it. And then they keep it away. They keep it locked up or something. Just some weird shit. But it freaked her out so much that she did not want me around her. And in fact, for like the last few years that I did see her, because of course we moved around and stuff, and I think she ended up moving and stuff too. She was trying to like keep her distance. I thought she was keeping her distance from me because it just freaked her out. It just really freaked her out. But anyway, there's so much shit I saw up in that too. But then we're going into this. So I went on a little spiritual visitation. I had a spiritual visitation, and I traveled somewhere, and I had a deja vu within this. And I was in this space where I don't know if it was a past life thing or if it was a plane, because of course there's worlds within worlds that exist. And I think that sometimes people who tell you these stories about planets and stuff, it's something that they visually seen spiritually somewhere and it got lost in translation. So people are just describing this stuff spiritual. Anyway, you're probably like, bitch, jumble, jumble. Anyway, but I always would have the same dream over and over of this woman with dreadlocks with like a poncho type of cape dress. And this cape dress would always change colors, but she had sacred geometry, like shapes on her. And she had these seashell earrings that were spiraled. Light skinned woman, dreadlock short, curly, and she had this big staff. And she honestly reminded me of Moses every time I would have this dream. But we were like in a saloon type of setting. And I was just minding my business. Every time I would have this dream, I'd be minding my business. And all of a sudden there'll be these clustered of people. And I don't know what type of race I would say these people are because they all look kind of the same, but they would have different shades of skin. And one of these experiences that I had, which was really, really, really crazy. Like the dream actually shifted. I never had this dream again. But these beings, these people saw me, and I got freaked out. They saw me. I don't know why I got freaked out, but they saw me. I got freaked out. They started like doing some shit on me to where I was having like vertigo and dizzy spells and stuff. And I would just keep getting basically pushed down to the ground. Get up, boom, boom. It's like they're doing some telekinesis or some shit. It was some weird shit. And this person appeared, dreadlock, light skinned woman, staff, and she was speaking in this language that I knew what she was saying, but I couldn't tell you what she was saying or what language she was speaking now. But, and this before I even knew that we had lost languages in this world too. I was probably like maybe 12 or 13. I did not know about lost languages until I was like 16. Like there's languages out there that are no longer used. But she was speaking this language, and I remember there was big oak trees around where we were at. And the sun was like shiny, y'all. And the sun, like the air, if I have to describe what it felt like, it was just clean, like uplifting. And I would say wherever we were at was kind of in a city where the mountains are at, right? Like not a valley, but high elevation. So they knock me down. This person comes and she's telling me to get up, do it, do it. And I don't know what the fuck happened, bitch, but this guy started changing colors, y'all. And I told y'all, I used to think that I had the abilities to control the air and shit, the wind and shit, y'all. Like I did some crazy shit as a kid. And Storm, like, Aurora, what's her name? Aura Monroe. Bitch, I felt connected with her, bitch, because I don't know, she was about the wind and shit. And I felt like I had this ability. So in this dream, it like confirmed it. So I somehow, some way fly to the roof. I didn't even feel myself get there. I just was there. And I started like doing some weird shit with the damn clouds and shit. And the clouds were changing colors. And literally it was so much energy. Like I felt this energy. Like I feel it right now just thinking about it. I felt this energy pulsating as this wind and shit was spiraling down to where everybody was running for cover. And then some people couldn't even take it to where they were literally trying to crawl. And I just remember the person trying to get me to stop. And that's when I woke up. And that's when I woke up. And then at that point, it shifted and I woke up. But going into the thing that I had, like I said, I don't know if that was a dream, or if that was a past life memory that I had because it felt surreal, or was it me traveling to another realm, another plane? But so this came up when I did my last travel this week for something that we're doing. And in the process, this person was shape shifting. And it's so ironic because, and I won't go too much into this, there's one thing I want to point out in this experience, because we were talking about this and three things came up. I'm more intuitive when I'm, first of all, at nighttime. Second of all, when I am barely waking up or I'm barely going to sleep. And I told you I used to sleepwalk and stuff, and they call that things and also the bullshit that scientists are trying to say. But something happened. Something would happen when I'm sleeping and shit. And it used to freak me out. Even as an adult, I think things happen. I told y'all I had a credit card that literally was being spent like in the Bay Area and shit. And I never knew how that happened, bitch. And I would really be like, what the fuck? And I would freak myself out. That's the reason why I got cameras here, because I would think that maybe I was getting up and driving myself to these places. And I kid you not, every store I fucking called, hey, do you have footage? Because somebody used my credit card on this day, and I always have my card on me. And mysteriously, y'all, the cameras were not working, or they would say, oh, it's too far back. And I'm like, I want to see if I see myself, because I would get freaked the fuck out if my ass was going to like 40 miles away, y'all, to go eat at Sonic's. I mean, I would freak the fuck out if I was going to Union Square Mall over there in Frisco to go shopping. I would freak myself out, y'all. And I'm going to tell you this right now. That's when I used to sleep like 14 hours. I used to be up all night, sleep all day, supposedly. Okay. One time, I think one of my credit cards was used in Antioch. It was at a Circle K or something. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck I need to go there for? Just some freaky shit, y'all. But in this dream, this thing kept shape-shifting. And I said, you know, I'm going to, and I think it was a travel, because I was conscious of what I was doing. When they call it lucid dreaming and stuff, right? I think when you have a dream that you're aware of what you're doing and you feel like you're kind of coaching yourself along, I think you are actually in another realm, okay? And that's through my own experiences. And like I said, it's been 17 plus years, okay, that I could vividly remember my dreams and my experiences of what I pulled up out of it, right? So this thing kept shape-shifting. And I said, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look to see what this bitch turn into, what this thing turn into. And it was like some weird shit, y'all. Like a distressed bird. It was a distressed cat. I think one of the times that it shapeshifted into like a goldfish that literally had gold glitter from the, like around the body, like the fin, the back fin, and then weird shit. But one of the times it shapeshifted into somebody that I know. And the crazy thing about it, this person that this thing shapeshifted into gave me some information. And when they gave me this information, y'all, I was I literally got up. I literally exited out of it, wrote down everything, y'all. Like, I guess say halfway asleep, because I was not even, like, I don't know how I even wrote all that shit. Like, to be honest with you, I don't even know how I know. I've been carrying this book with me for almost 30 days. I don't know how I literally got up in the middle of doing all this. Got up. I don't even keep pens near me. I don't know how I found the pen that day, but got up and wrote down everything that was being said, every single thing. And when I got up, I remembered it, obviously. When I woke up, I remember the experience that I had. And I immediately said, let me go to that book, because I remember seeing it. I immediately went to the book, turned to the page, and everything that was there, believe it or not, has been coming to pass for the past 7 days. And the crazy thing about it, y'all, and spirit amazes me. Spirit, no matter how long I've been doing spiritual stuff, no matter how spiritually inclined I am, no matter how experienced I am spiritually, I'm still amazed every day. I tell you, God, every experience I have is like a brand new experience, because there's people out there that I deal with, that I know, that don't really believe in spirit, or don't believe in life after death, don't believe in anything outside of what they see in this world. And even sometimes back in the day when people used to be able to influence me, I also felt the same way. Like, well, you know, that's what spirit taught. That's what people taught me. But how do I actually know that it's legit? And I kid you not, I get those reminders when I have these experiences. And everything happens, y'all. And in one of the things, I had a strawberry cream taste in my mouth. I even woke up tasting it, y'all, to where I brush my teeth. Now I brush my teeth when I wake up, sometimes midday and before I go to bed. I woke up brushing my teeth because I can taste the aftertaste of this strawberry cream cake. What was freaky about this, you guys? This was 3 or 4 days ago. Today, I meet with someone that I've not seen in a very, very long time, and they had a cake that was customly made. The cake had a cross on it. And I told you guys what the cross stands for. If you do not remember, we'll keep it for another video. But the cross do not symbolize what people think it symbolized in modern day world. They think that Jesus died upon the cross, crucifixion, blah, blah, blah. But it symbolizes something totally different. So there's a cross there. And then I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have a piece of this cake. I'm determined. I want a piece of the cake. So everybody like, should we do it? I don't know. We should wait. No, I want a piece of this cake. Sure enough, you could do it. Oh, wow, bam, give my plate. I kid y'all not. As this woman was cutting this cake, like she was really taking her time. Y'all, I had this feeling of, how would I say this? Imagine you being well, you're probably not going to understand this. This is the weird side of me coming out right now. Imagine you being a magnet. And imagine you being, you just having things sucked to you, like that sucked gravitational pull. Like I felt so when she was cutting this damn cake. And when she put this cake on my damn plate, y'all, I had to do a fucking double take. I kid you not, my friend can testify this. Because I even told her about the experience I had. And like, y'all, I even told her the day I had this spiritual experience that there's going to be a cake. And the connect to this cake is going to be somebody of great importance, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, when she cut that cake and that cake was on that motherfucking plate, I had to do double take, y'all. Like literally, I had to like adjust my lashes because I thought I was seeing shit. The strawberry was literally falling out the motherfucking cake. And I said, I think I took a picture of the cake too. I said, I don't believe this. I was like, I don't believe this. So she's kind of like, what, girl? I'm like, girl, it's a strawberry cream cake. Was we just talking about something I had the other day? Oh my God, yes. But like I said, y'all, this has been happening all week long. I had a client that had a house in Mountain House, California. If you don't know where that is, well, you probably don't know because you're not from California. Mountain House, California is the suburb area of Tracy, California, where MC Hammer lives at. Yeah, you can run into MC Hammer, y'all. If you're a fan of MC Hammer, too legit to quit. Down there in Tracy, he's always at Safeway on 11th and Tracy Boulevard. Hey, honey, I hope I didn't expose some tea. Bitch, oh well, bitch, waiting for, I don't know him like that. Anyway, so in Mountain House, there's no reception, y'all, but it's beautiful houses, like mansion type houses, and they really want to stay away from people. They don't want you up in there, okay? It's kind of like, Calabasas, anybody can go up in there with Beverly Hills shit. They don't want nobody there, y'all. If you're not from there, bitch, they looking at you, shining lights on you and shit. Like, what's going on, brother? No security, but they don't play. So I get there and I start having a little spirituality going on. Like I'm kind of going into a daze. And in one of my experiences that I had during a spiritual thing this week, I see this house that was built crazily. We'll keep it at that because I don't want to go into the story because I didn't ask her for permission. And anyway, y'all, I get to this house and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Because now, mind you, when I do my spiritual meetings in person, I don't want people to tell me what they're dealing with. And I do that because if something comes up spiritually, I don't want you to say, well, I told you that. Because people have done that. Oh, I already told you that. Oh, okay, well, I forgot about that. But okay, so I say, just tell me what type of services you want done. And when I get there, you give me the background so I can tap into that frequency. But in this thing, y'all, what I saw physically, the crazy thing about this house, something happened to this house in one of these spiritual things I was dealing with, and it was pulling me there. And for me to show up to that house, I was like, whoa. And the crazy thing about it as well, this person has the same name as somebody I don't like. They have the same name, different last name, but the same initials but same first name. And I said, what the fuck? But y'all, that house has some crazy shit going up in it. Like I said, a lot of those houses are like new. We're talking about like within the past 10 years. I know you may not say that's not new, but we're talking about very new. Even to where some of the streets and stuff is mapped out, but it's not accurate. And so anyway, and you know, I rely when I'm traveling, I rely on my spiritual GPS any motherfucking way. Cause Google, she'll run out on your ass. She'll tell you make a left, you make a left, bitch. Oh, make a right, bitch. Now you're making a fucking U-turn around this long ass block. Like, girl, we don't do it. But when I got in there, y'all, I said immediately, bam, damn, damn, bam, bam. Got it off my chest. And she said, wow. So, of course, I could tell by her look, she was kind of like, weird ass bitch. I just feel like people think that's when you pull up shit on them. Like, were you out here watching me? No, bitch. I just got your address 3 hours before I showed up. So, how would I know that? Okay. But anyway, y'all, it just blew my mind. Like I said, this week has been very, very spiritual. It's been very, very mind blowing. It's been very, very just like I can't even explain it. Just there. And I got what I needed and motherfucking more. And like I said, there's so much stuff that I got down that I even thought about voicing what I wrote down. Okay. And also breaking that down and presenting it somehow, some way. Because I got so much tea. Because I tell you, a lot of people come to me for advice. They come to me for ideas. They come to me for spiritual food, for a renovation, a renewal of spirit. And as a spiritual advisor, which will be the professional term for what I am, honey, my objective and my purpose is to, like I say, minister to you spiritually, or to see what's going on with you spiritually and try to figure out possibly what are the physical things you're doing to cause these spiritual things. And of course, a lot of people don't like to hear that. And some people, I don't think they can, because they're so anxiety filled. They're so depressed. They're so insomniatic. That may not be a word. I just made up insomniatic, but she got insomnia. Come on in here. They're just out of them. They're just spaced out to where you're looking at them and they're like, huh? What you say? You know, and going into this too, y'all, like, you know, one of my spiritual things that I had this week was with my sister. And of course, I never really talked to my sister physically when she was going through her process, because things were being kept from me for obvious reasons. And that's something I had to let go too. But things were not being shared with me about her condition and what she was doing. And maybe because I don't know what it was, but things were not shared with me. But everything else was shared with me. Like, I know about all her darkest secrets. And I just felt like, the fuck, you know? But what I got from one of these spiritual experiences, like I said, I got a lot of answers, y'all. Questions I had for like 10 plus years on some things became so clear to me during this past week. It became so clear to me. Like, I feel like I feel like I grew older. I feel like I've traveled the world and came back. Like, I feel just so spiritually renewed. And one of the things I did not know, and I'm gonna share this with you guys, because I share a lot of things with y'all, not everything, but a lot of things with y'all. My sister used to look physically dazed out, right? And a lot of stuff that I was seeing spiritually during this spiritual, I guess call it spiritual filled week, spiritually feeding week. I don't know what you would call it. I was seeing things as a third person watching a stage play. And my sister would look dazed out sometime. And then you would, you know, talk to her and she'll jump back into it. Hey, ooh, 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 ooh. Spirit was showing me that my sister, over and over in her head, was thinking about her dying. Oh my God, I'm going to go out. Oh my God, ooh, ooh, ooh. And she was basically trying to internalize that this may be your last day. And that's what she was dealing with. And even going into where I didn't tell you guys, but one time she went to the hospital, I want to say April of last year, she didn't want nobody in the room, not even my mom. She was like, nope. And then the doctor went there, they talked about something, the doctor left out, And my mom, my mom was very intuitive. But she felt like people were holding secrets back. And of course, it was one of her friends, which I didn't tell you about that, which I don't feel like I'll tell you about that. But anyway, so my mom, she was trying to figure out what it was. And I never, because I tell y'all, I try not to invade people's privacy. Me being a intuitive person, hypersensitive to energy, I can read between the lines. I don't like to go around picking up shit because I feel like that's being nosy, and I would want you to do that. If I just experienced something that was personal to me, I don't want you to try to pick it up and say, "Come here, I want to tell you something. You feeling kind of freaky right now." Like that would just be like embarrassing. Like, bitch, really? So I don't do that. I really try to, tell my spirits or my, just if something come up that I don't want to know, or they don't want to know, don't show me it. I don't want to talk about it. And that's happened a lot. Like people have come to me for readings and they've asked about their love life, and then something else come up and we talk about it. And they're like, what? Wait a minute, hold up, how you know that? But anyway, but what Spirit was showing me was my sister was literally internalizing, because she really thought that her time was a year prior. So that's why the middle of 2017 to 2018, in the middle, she was paying off her debt. She was putting up, making sure her children was good. I think even going back before that she was preparing, because my sister worked a good job to where my nephews, like, they have pensions put up to where when they turn 18, I wouldn't have said trust fund, but it's enough money when they turn 18 to go to any college they want to go to. And that's because my sister worked so hard. So, in my mind, I'm like, she's working so hard. Remember, she's working to prove me wrong, because I told you she would like ask for money and stuff. And I'd be like, girl, I need you to be independent. You're a woman. You have children. I need you to be independent. And I'll be here if you really need that safety net. But don't call me to be like, I need to borrow 20 because I want to go out. But don't do that. But I was wrong. She was really thinking about her children, and she knew that she was not going to see them grow up. And I told y'all we had conversations as well. And I said I'd talk to you guys about this because I've had a healing process. I've come to the absence, even think about, like, it's been a year and some days, like, to really be where I'm at now, mentally and spiritually, about that experience. Like, I'm kind of like shocked at myself, because in the first 3 months, I didn't think I was going to get to this point at all. Like, every now and then things still come up. Every now and then it's going to come up, because of course the physical body, the conscious mind does not understand. It's kind of like a computer being unplugged. It's saying malfunction, 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 even though possibly the computer know it's going to be plugged back in. It's still saying cautious, cautious, caution. So anyway, with that, like I said, my sister, she was preparing for that. She was preparing to go. And I saw this during the spiritual experiences. Every time she zoned out, she was actually plotting. Like, I need to say this. I need to do this. I need to go work 20 hours next week. And that's one thing I would say too. My sister kept her plans to her motherfucking self. Sometimes she liked to talk about stuff, but she kept her stuff to herself. And I said before, that was my sister. But if you're talking about number, like lifestyle wise, my sister was older than me. My sister's life number was a very powerful number. She was a double number. And linking to everything from the time she was born, to the city, to the location. Like, I like to get down to longitude and latitude as well, to the buildings, to this, and the nurse name, because my mom know all this. She remember all of our nurses and who was on the floor, what floor we were birthed on. She remember all that, what food she was craving before and after. And like I said, to pick up all that stuff and to know how spiritually my sister was without me even freaking knowing it. Like I told her, she used to hear stuff. My sister would hear stuff before it happened, and it freaked her out. She would hear shit before it happened, and she thought going to church would get rid of it, because they'll say it's the devil talking to you, and she would get freaked out. And I remember even one time she was 16 years old, and I was dating one of my boyfriends, Enrique. He never gonna see this, y'all. But Enrique, anyway, Enrique got here legally somehow, somewhere. But Enrique, I was dating Enrique, and we were having our little, our nightly session. And my sister, okay, we're gonna be done. My sister was blowing up my damn phone. And I'm like, why is she blowing up my phone for? And she's like, hey, I want to ask you something. What does it mean if you blah, blah, blah? And I was like, oh, that means this. Well, what do you mean you blah, blah, blah? Well, that means that. What do you mean blah, blah? Okay. Why are you asking this? Well, because I actually had this. So she gave me 3 options, but she was telling me her experience was the fourth. And basically, she wanted to know, was she tripping? I said, no. What you got going on is something totally different. You have something called clairaudient, where you can hear things that the physical ears cannot hear and other people cannot hear. And it's why even sometimes too, she would hear like people call her name before they would call her name. Just y'all, there was just some weird shit. I can tell y'all stories after story about my sister, just how spiritually in tune she was and how she was able to tap into stuff, just crazy shit. And anyway, so she literally was internalizing this stuff, y'all, and she wasn't sharing it with people because she didn't want us to mess up her process. She was really strategizing on how to make her plans come into fruition, and she was strategizing, and she didn't want nobody to stop that. And I think even too, like her last 2 years of her living, because that's when things were really getting crazy, she was very combative, like defensive, and want to let people have it, and I think there was some confusion there and stuff. But get into that. One of my aunties I seen today, and we kind of had a little one-on-one for like 10 minutes, y'all, because I dropped off somewhere. And she was talking about it. And she was like, yeah, I would see her dazed out. And I know that was spirit confirming to what I had. Because this is an auntie, y'all, that I don't even talk to like that. Like, we talk, but we don't talk about how you doing? Say, I'm doing great. What you saw? We don't do that. So for her to basically confirm to me what I experienced this week, y'all, like, y'all not even gonna understand it because y'all were there. Y'all didn't experience where I experienced it. But I'm gonna tell y'all, this week have taught me so much stuff, and all the stuff I learned spiritually, it's definitely gonna help me in the very, very near future. And also, what I'm gonna be sharing with some of you is also gonna help you in the motherfucking future. It's gonna help you bring in 2020 greatly. And honestly, I normally do winter solstice events, like what we do like webinars, we do online stuff, we do readings, we do a whole bunch of stuff which we want to talk about publicly. But I want to do what was given to me. I want to include that in whatever I do. That's for sure going to be the main thing. And I'm going to advise people who have ever come to me for work and you have anxiety. You've ever come to me for work and you're fearful, or you feel depressed, or you feel down. I advise you to be a part of this, because this is going to blow your minds. And when I say blow your minds, I mean one person and all of you at different levels. It's going to blow your lower, your mid, and your motherfucking outer. Come on, talk about this. Hello? Your inner, your mid, and your motherfucking outer, bitch. It's going to blow you. And I promise that. Or your money back guarantee. Oh, shit, man. We can do that too. How? Come on, let's put it back out. Let's do it, honey. I guarantee it's going to change your motherfucking life, or you get your motherfucking money back on that motherfucking event. How about that? Can we do that? Can we do a promise on that? Ow. You join the event, bitch. We're doing a contract, and we're going to get it notarized. Bitch. 100% bitch, or money back guarantee. That's what we're gonna do. Anyway, so listen, let me see what's up in here, y'all, because I gotta go, y'all. Listen, y'all. I'm cooking today. Y'all. I'm making spicy black bean patties. I'm gonna make some salmon burgers. I'm also gonna make some anyway. And y'all, wait a minute, hold up. I can't shut up right now. Listen. We also, like I said, we're going to do a little something with y'all. I got a surprise to y'all. I've been talking about this for such a long time, and it's time that we get into it. So, anyway. Anyway, come on, let's see it, honey. Okay, let me see before I go. I'll overstand exactly edibles. Yeah, overstanding is just a made-up word. Just to let you know, it's a made-up word. And I think that the people who made up the word overstanding is very egotistical. I think that it's very stupid to come up with that word. No, to anybody who uses it, I'm not calling you stupid. Whoever came with the word overstand and think that it means that you deeply understand. Over and under is two different things. Under means deep within. Over means up above. So you're over exaggerating. You're overthinking it. It's overly processed. Overly processed don't mean that it's under processed. It doesn't mean that it's not processed enough. Overly exhausted doesn't mean that you're not tired enough or you're not exhausted enough. So how does overstanding means that you really understand? When in reality, it's understanding, which means you understand it at your lowest level. See, people say that understanding means undermining, but the people who came up with that, like I said, they're stupid. They have issues socially, and they don't really have any motherfucking friends, and they're never gonna get shit. For the ones I've seen use that, and like I said before, the ones I've seen use a lot were males, and there were males who struggle with a lot of things, including health, because we talk about this. When your spiritual health is in line, your physical health has to meet up with it. Okay, I'm not taking that back. I'm not cutting in on people. I'm going to keep it there. When your spiritual health is perfect, your physical health matches that. You're not going to be spiritually healthy because you read 50 million books on spirituality, but yeah, you find out you got pancreatitis. You find out you got ovarian cancer. You find out that your spleen is failing you. You got joint aches, back aches. Your tailbone is deteriorating. That doesn't happen, boo boo, because the energy that drives that body also feeds it. So you have people that overcame cancer, people that reversed diabetes, people who beat a whole bunch of other elements in their body because they're aligned their spirit. So that's all I'm saying. The same ones that use overstanding, I overstand, understand, and blah, blah, blah stand. You're looking at them now, you're just like, that's a little odd that you would talk like that, though, because this one had a stroke, seizure, I don't know what he had. But this one right here, he got something else going on that it causes erectile dysfunction. We'll keep it at that. And I also see a little bit of spots somewhere on his liver. So it's like, girl, at the end of the day, ain't nobody using that. But like I said, I can't tell you how to talk. That shot, it's like, y'all me. You know, you can't tell people how to talk. But if you want to have that in your vernacular, I don't understand those words. So overstanding and stuff to relate with me, I don't really get that. I don't connect with that. That's not my vernacular, honey. That's not my dialect. It's over. You know, it's like revising the word death. If we're going to change understand, we need to also change the word death, because nothing truly dies. It transcends. It transcends. It transitions. It moves above, beyond, and through. It shifts into something different, but energy does not die. So when they say death, the process of what? Now we know that death really means to be split into two. We know that. DEDIBI, same thing, split up. Yes, honey, do your research. Okay, so we know that means to split, to separate. That's when the physical and the spiritual separate. Okay, that is death, right? But like I said, we need to stop saying, oh, she's dying. Oh, it's no, because bitch, I like to, I don't see people changing that up. Let's call it, she's moved on. Hey, she's awakened. She's extended. Hey, let's do that. Let's call death an extension. Come on in here. Because everybody think when everybody died, they were the ancestor center, right? Everybody think everybody died, they with God. They gained their wings. They're angels now, which, by the way, humans will never be angels, just so you know that. I'm sorry to tell that to you. Once again, that's like egotistical. Oh, she earned her wings. Oh, my baby's a guardian angel now. Girl, bye. Your baby has moved on. No Tito shade. I hate to ruffle your feathers up, but girl, I'm sorry. If that helps you sleep at night, it is what it is. Okay, can't do it, honey. You too, Larry. You have a good day too, honey. You're welcome, Larry. Thank you so much. Hey, Belizean. Yes, honey. Hello, Ann. Keep it real black. I know that's right, Ann. How you doing? Yes, honey. Listen, Ann. I'm about to go. Ooh, y'all. Ooh, this face looking all shiny and shit. Y'all, listen, y'all. This little cheap makeup has lasted me all day. You hear me? This is Black Opal, Black Radiance, and I use them because they have my exact shade, honey. Come on in here. Black Opal, Black Radiance. I also have underneath it, what I use as my primer. I think coconut oil, honey. I'm telling you, we getting it all up in check, honey. Hello? We getting it all up in check. Y'all can sit here and play games with your body all day long. Physical health, spiritual health, and mental health. The two most important healths are the spiritual and the mental because they affect the physical. Come on in here. Y'all not ready for that? Hello? Hello? You're not ready for that? Anybody now need a bell? Anybody been there? Hello? Yes, honey. The mental and the spiritual needs to get right or you getting left, bitch. Get it right or get it left, bitch. And we talk about 2020. I'm telling y'all, y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up, honey. Y'all better wake up because bitch, they says, oh, I told y'all what's gonna happen 2020, Mister. Y'all didn't y'all ask that? Well, there's many things that are going on, but two of the things are that they out that's going on that's going to affect everybody who's watching right now, starting 2020, January motherfucking 1st, 2020. Now, all these psychics and spiritualists on YouTube, is anybody talking about what's going on? Did they see it coming? I'll wait. Anybody saw it coming? I can talk about the spiritualists who knew these people that did an internet thing. She was a spiritual person. They were advertising her shit, but sister couldn't give her the insight and say, hey, y'all need to, ooh. But mama's a psychic. Oh, because you're on a deck of tarot, you're a psychic? Because you're on some oracle cards, you're a psychic? Because you got a Ouija board or spirit board, you're a psychic now? Will we go get that for $12? Bitch, you're a novice, honey. You're playing novelty games, girl. Oh, yeah, I know it. Girl, bye. Like I said, there's a very few, and I can count on one hand out there that I would think are very real spiritualists. And unfortunately, out of the 5 on hand of what I've come across so far, only one of them is of color. Take that how you want it. Take that how you want it. And excuse me, let me change that because we all have chromosomes. They're of a heavier hue. Oh, come on in here. They're of a heavier hue. And like I said, we're talking about people I've come across so far. Okay. Everybody else, bitch, like I said, I don't see it. Because if you saw shit like that, bitch, your life would have been a whole nother way. And I'm not cutting it, I'm just saying how it is. Spiritual intuition, spiritual inclination, you're born with that. You don't just develop it. You don't have the I can't see for myself. Okay, let me teach you how to rob a bank. Let me teach you how to steal cars. And then all of a sudden, while you locked up, the spirit comes in and say, ooh, boo boo, you're really a psychic now. So you get out, you're going to be 1-800 psychic network. Oh, really? Y'all, I've always been a psychic. So you always been a psychic, sis. When you wrote that check, that balance, you didn't think they were going to take you to court? If you spiritually inclined or you're a psychic or you're born with these gifts, when you went to the store to stick that baloney in your backpack, you didn't think that they were going to get your ass for shoplifting? Did you see that coming? Okay. Maybe that wasn't enough. Maybe your spirits work a little lighter. Okay. When you were switching those license plates on those vehicles, boosting and shit, going to the store so somebody would catch you. And they caught up with you. Spirit didn't tell you when you did it, oh, I wouldn't do that because they're going to figure it out. I mean, really? I mean, even going into your grandmother being a witch and shit, didn't she teach you a money spell? Didn't you think about money spells? They had books on money spells shit back in the day. Yeah, they had a book on money spells from 1972. I think, it's a book I own from 1938. Where they talk about money rituals in that book from 1938. So you had no excuse. If you were born after 1938 and you were still out here stealing and shit, but you claim to be a witch, come on in here. You claim to have power, come on in here. I don't know what's going on. It really took you to be locked with some cement walls and shit to be awakened, sis? That sounds like some Jesus rolled on a third day type of shit. Oh, I want to talk about that too. I want to break that down too. Anyway, God, let me go. I'm gonna be a fat ass bitch. I'm gonna munch on some hot Cheetos. Yes, while I put my stuff away, y'all. Munch on some hot Cheetos. Yes, while I put my shit away, anoint, clean shit, get shit ready for this week. And bitch, I'm going to bed. I gotta go. Bitch, I gotta go. I gotta go. Anyway, thank you all for stopping by here. Thank you so much. And keeping it real, Black, Belizean, Larry, and Edibles, honey. Listen, I hope you didn't get too offended with what I said, Edibles. There was no disrespect to you. I think you are a very educated, very articulate woman. You know, obviously, I mean, come on now. Ain't no idiot a fan of me. I mean, let's talk about it. Ain't no idiot liking me. Ain't no idiot respecting me. Come on in here. So, but like you said, the old overstanding and shit, I want to use over for everything else. I'm overly beautiful, honey. Thank you. Like, girl, we know there's some teeth if you use that. I'm overly healthy. What the hell is overly healthy? I'm overly excited. Okay, bitch. Now you're doing a little too much now, sis. You're putting 20s on 10s. Come on now. I need you to calm it on down. Less is more. Balanced is reality. Okay. And you always want to understand. You always want to connect with what's being said from the root. Okay. You don't want to come at it from this and go down. You want to come at it from this and come up. Come on in here. So you overstand means you already got it right here. Oh, I'm trying to reach for it. I would think overstand would be you don't really get it. That's just to me. I overstand. I kind of see what you're saying, but I kind of lost it. Like to me, that's overstanding me. So I'm just like, I don't get that. And we're talking about people. I've dealt with people that have been casting spells. The spelling deals with spell casting for well over 80 plus years. And yeah, I want to see what they think about it. I mean, oh, that's a good idea. I want to see what they know about that, with how they feel about that. I overstand. Don't you worry about it, baby. I overstand everything. Okay. Anyway. Bye, everybody. To spiritmystic.blogspot.com, to spiritmystic@gmail.com. Those of you who took the necromancy class, definitely send me an email. Like I said, I want to do your one-on-ones this week. Let's get it started, honey. I'm ready to go. Like I said, I'm going to be taking my ass to bed, relaxing, getting a nice full rest of sleep. And like I said, hopefully I check my email in the morning and I get some emails from you beauties. And yeah, just people just telling me, hey, I'm ready for it. Hey, let me do it. I'll be waiting, honey. Anyway, bye for now, everybody. Thank y'all for stopping by, honey. I gotta go.